Hi, I am Srikanth Reddy. In this lecture, we are going to see what is meant by vector space, and we will see some examples on vector space. First of all, we'll see the definition of vector space. Let V is a non-empty set of some objects. So the objects may be vectors or matrices or functions or some other objects. And each element belonging to that set is called a vector. Generally, we will represent vectors with bold, lowercase, bold letters like here A, B, C, U, V, etc. So now we'll see what are the general form of these vectors. So A will be like this. A equals to, it is comprising of n elements, A1, A2, An, and B is another vector which is B1, B2, and so on, Bn. So these are two vectors we have taken in the set V. Now we are going to define two operations, that is algebraic operations over this set V. One is with respect to addition, another one is with respect to scalar multiplication. Now we'll see what is these two algebraic operations. First one is vector addition. That means if you take any two vectors out of this set V, right, then the addition is defined like this. A plus B means A is the first vector, B is the second vector. So we have to add the elements like this, the corresponding elements, A1 plus B1, A2 plus B2, and so on, AN plus BN. So like this, the addition is defined. Similarly, the scalar multiplication is defined like this. Alpha is any scalar, that means it is some constant, and A is any vector coming from this set V. Then the operation is defined like this. Alpha A equals to alpha into A1, A2, and so on, AN. So if you multiply that, you will get alpha A1, alpha A2, alpha AN for any scalar alpha. So these are the two operations which is defined over the non-empty set V. Now we will come to the definition of vector space. What is vector space? So a set V defines a vector space if for any elements A, B, C in V, and for any scalars alpha comma beta, if it is satisfying the following 10 properties, then we say that it is a vector space. Okay, so the set V is comprising of elements, some elements A, B, C, and here alpha and beta are two scalars in the two scalars. Now, whenever it satisfies the following 10 axioms with respect to addition 5 axioms, with respect to multiplication 5 axioms, then we say that it is a vector space. So what are these axioms? We will see. First, with respect to addition, there are 5 axioms are there. What is the first one is A plus B. That means if you take any two vectors from the set V, and if you combine these two vectors with respect to the defined operation, the addition is defined like this, then the resultant vector must be once again in V. Similarly, if you take any two vectors A and B, and A plus B must be equals to B plus A, so which is known as the commutative law. Third one, A plus B plus C is equals to A plus of B plus C, which is associative law. The fourth one, A plus 0 equals to 0 plus A. That means this 0 is acting as the unique identity element here. Okay, this need not be 0. So the meaning of this 0 is if you take any vector out of V and if you add with this vector, you must get the original vector, same vectors. That is the meaning. So here 0 is acting as the additive identity. Next is A plus minus A is equals to 0. Here this minus A is acting as the additive inverse here. So these are the 5 operations total with respect to which it must satisfy. Next, properties with respect to scalar multiplication. There are 5 properties are there once again. Alpha is any scalar and A is any vector. So then this alpha A with respect to this defined operation, it must be in V. If you take any two scalars alpha and beta, If you add it and if you multiply with any vector, then it must be equals to alpha a plus beta a, which is left distributive law. We'll call it as left distributive law. Next is alpha beta into a must be equals to alpha of beta a. Next is alpha into a plus b equals to alpha a plus alpha b, which is known as the right distributive law. Next, 1 into a equals to a. So this is the existence of multiplicative identity. So these are the 10 properties. If any non-empty set V, if it is satisfying these 10 properties or axioms, we say that it is a vector space. And here it is a note. In the vector spaces, there are two types are there. One is real vector space, another one is complex vector space. When we say that a real vector space means whenever the elements of V are real, then it is called a real vector space, where the scalars alpha and beta must be real numbers. Next, in the second case, V is called a complex vector space whenever the elements of V are complex numbers. And here alpha and beta, they may be real or complex numbers. Or in another case also, it is said to be complex vector space. That is, whenever the elements of V are real and the scalars are complex numbers. So in that case also, it is a complex vector space. Now we will go through one simple example. So we will check it whether it is a vector space or not. Okay, so this is the example. So V is the set of all ordered pairs in the form of x comma y, where here x and y are real numbers and a and b are randomly two ordered pairs. And with respect to addition, it is defined like this. With respect to scalar multiplication, it is defined like this. Right. Now we have to check whether this V, which is comprising of ordered pairs, is a vector space or not. So for that, what we have to do, we'll step by step, we have to check all the 10 axioms. That means 5 axioms with respect to addition and 5 axioms with respect to multiplication. So if it is satisfying all, we can declare that V is vector space. If it is failed at any level, we can declare that it is not a vector space. Suppose if it is failed at axiom 2 itself, then no need to check at remaining axioms. Okay. So now properties first with respect to vector addition we will see. So first one, a plus b. So that means a and b are two ordered pairs. So if you add it with respect to the defined addition, clearly you can see x1, x2, comma y1, y2. Clearly it is an element in V. Why means because x1 and x2 are real numbers. If you multiply x1 and x2, once again you will get a real number. Similarly, y1 and y2, you will get once again a real number. So no doubt this will be in V. Next, a plus b. A is this, b is this. So with respect to this operation, if you add it, you are going to get x1, x2, comma y1, y2. So because these are numbers, you can write it as x2, x1 and y2, y1 also. Therefore, commutative law is also satisfied. Third one is associative, a plus b plus c. A plus b is this one, which we got already here, plus c. C is x3, y3. Then according to this defined operation, I can write this as x1, x2, x3 plus y1, y2, y3. This once again you can write it as x1 plus y1 plus x2, x3 plus y2, y3. So this is a plus b plus c. Therefore, the associative law is also satisfied. Now coming to the fourth one. x1, y1. If I take any ordered pair from the set V and if I choose 1, 1 as my identity element, right, then with respect to this operation, right, addition, I can write it as x1 into 1 is x1, y1 into 1 is y1. That means this is true for any element in V. That means this 1, 1 is acting as the identity element, and clearly this 1, 1 is belonging to V because it is an ordered pair and 1 both are real numbers. Therefore, it is satisfying the fourth axiom also. For fifth axiom, coming to fifth axiom here, x1, y1 plus 1 by x1, 1 by y1. So if I use that vector addition, what I am going to get is x1 into 1 by x1 becomes 1, y1 into 1 by y1 is 1. So I am able to get the additive identity element here, and here this 1 by x1, 1 by y1 is acting as the additive inverse. That means it is true for any element. Suppose if you take x2, y2, I can write 1 by x2, 1 by y2, so that with respect to the defined operation, you will get 1, 1. Therefore, it is satisfying all the 5 axioms with respect to addition. Now, we'll focus with respect to scalar multiplication. Alpha A. You take alpha any scalar and A is any ordered pair. If you multiply with that, whatever the elements you are going to get is once again they are real numbers. Therefore, 100% it is satisfying here. Now coming to the seventh one. What is the seventh property? You have seen already here, seventh one. What is seventh one? Alpha plus beta into A must be equals to alpha A plus beta A. That means it is left distributive law. Now we check it whether it is satisfying or not. So here I am choosing alpha is 1 and beta is 2. Then alpha plus beta into x1 comma y1. It is any random ordered pair. Alpha plus beta is 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 into x1 y1 is 3x1 comma 3y1. That is the left hand side part. Now coming to the right hand side part. Alpha into x1 y1 plus beta into x1 y1. Alpha is 1, beta is 2. Now 1 into x1 is x1, 2 into x1 is x1. So with respect to the defined addition, I can write it as 2x1 square, 2n square. If you look at left hand side is this one, right hand side is this one. Both are clearly not equal. That means it is not satisfying the property 7. Therefore, we can declare that V is not a vector space. So once it is failed at any axiom level, there is no need to check the remaining properties. That is what we written in the note. So this is the simple way of checking whether the vectors is linearly, whether the given set is a vector space or not. You can check it very easily. So that's the end of the